Hi guys, this is Wave 618. Today is the 25th of February 2018. Currently just gone 1 p.m. GMT. So this is a daily update for Bitcoin, and I just want to give you a completely new update that I have. So first of all, looking at the grand scheme of things, if you watch my first video on Bitcoin, you'll see how I believe that this was the end of a major wave one, this being wave on a lower degree, wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. In my first video I broke all this down to explain how this wave 5 had in fact finished, and yeah, so that was my wave count, and the question is what's happening now. So we've seen a big sell-off, and the question really was whether this was the bottom, and there was a good argument for it being the bottom. However, I'm going to explain, I'll tell you now actually, that this video is all about this not being the bottom. Yeah, so that's what you can expect from this video. I'm going to explain why price is coming down lower. Whether that is what you want to hear or not, I'm not sure, but it's certainly what I feel, and I'm going to break it down. I'm going to give you the analysis and explain why. I always give good reason for my analysis, so yeah, I'm not just going to say, oh, that looks nice, it would suit me if it would come down lower. That's not the case. I'm very objective. I don't care which way Bitcoin goes. I'm just gonna say what I've assessed through my analysis. So alright, so the argument for this being the bottom, let's just quickly go over it. So it had retraced just beyond 61.8% of the whole move, came down to here. There's a nice big wick at the bottom here, and then it moved up looking very bullish. Nice bit of volume that's come in, and yeah, it looks quite impulsive at the time. However, since then I've been following the price action on the lower time frame. So if we look at it on the hourly chart now, this is our move from the bottom upwards. Now the only bullish count that I could make out, yeah, I was really giving it every chance to be bullish at this moment, and the only count I could make out that for this to be bullish was this one. So I've made a wave 1 here, wave 2 finishing here, so that's an A, B, C. It's actually a running flat, and then wave 3 finished here, and then it made a wave 4, which was a A, B, C. Yeah, so that's an expanded flat, that one. And then from here, if it were to be bullish, you'd expect wave 5 to break this line, and with some a lot of force as well, because of this major resistance line being broken. However, we simply haven't seen this happen, and since this wave 4 was formed, it did go up, but then it's come straight back down and formed a new low. If this was bullish, there's no way this would have happened. Yeah, following an expanded flat, that's usually the last chance of that was the last chance for the bullish move to have any viable wave count for it to be bullish. It's been broken down, it's made a new low. We have to reconsider everything. There's no reason to be so strongly bullish anymore. In fact, quite the contrary. We should be analyzing the bearish move, and I'll explain now why I do believe it's a bearish. And the main reason is because trading, in essence, is all about the exchange of money between the stronger hands and the weaker hands. So what happens after a major wave 2? We see a major wave 3. So Bitcoin is going to fly from here on. Yeah. Now, wave 3 is also known as the money leg. So the money leg is generally where the banks and the funds make all of their money. They're not interested in the wave 5. They're not so interested in the wave 1. Yeah. They want to accumulate their positions for the wave 3. And when do they accumulate the position? It's the end of wave 2. Yeah. So end of wave 2 is generally, the reason the retracement is so big is because, you know, compared to wave 4, which is generally quite shallow, it's because this is where the banks are trying to mark the price down to the lowest level they can get, so that they can make the biggest gains possible off the wave 3. Because as price is lower down, the smaller increments in price are much more significant than small increments at a higher level, i.e. the percentage difference is much greater. The reason being, just let's take a hypothetical example. If you bought Bitcoin at $1 rather than $2, and then it goes to beyond $20,000, then you're going to double your money if you bought your money at $1 rather than $2. Despite there only being $1 difference in the value of the asset class when you bought it, the percentage difference is very big compared to the fact that compared to buying Bitcoin at $20,000 compared to $20,001. There's very little difference. The percentage difference is very small and doesn't really matter. It's at these lower levels that small movements are significant. So the question is, has price come down far enough, or do the banks feel that they can bring it down lower so that they can get their hands on more of the cheaper Bitcoin? And I think there's certainly people they can flush out of this Bitcoin market. People who are still hanging on, who can be wiped out, and they can certainly get hold of their Bitcoin. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to mop up all the Bitcoin. Yeah. The only way they can do that is to flush everyone out. And I'm afraid at the moment, there's still a lot of people who are bullish Bitcoin. There's a lot of positive sentiment. Even, a lot of positive people in the community who are generally considered weaker hands, not so knowledgeable about Bitcoin, but they're still optimistic. Now, as long as these people have any optimism, then the banks haven't finished marking the price down. It's simple as that. You can expect some very negative media soon to come out to flush these people out. That media could be anything. One possible suggestion I can make is they're going to publicize how much hacking goes on in the Bitcoin exchanges, and perhaps give out some figures, maybe say 90% of Bitcoin traders have either experienced or know someone who's experienced hacking. So they'll bring out some big figures. It'll scare everyone off, and people will then think, oh, I'm not going to trade Bitcoin. What's the point in trading Bitcoin if whatever money I make is just going to get lost potentially to hackers? So it'll scare people off, scare people away from the market. And whilst this is happening, the bankers will be mopping it all up, yeah, because they know they've created this story. It's a story purely to scare people. And exaggerate what exactly is actually happening. So where will they try and mark the price down? That's the question. Now, using Elliott still, because I'm a big fan of Elliott, so it's made 3 legs down. Yeah, this. Hence why, another reason why people felt this was bullish. It looked like it made an ABC zigzag, A, B, C. Now, thing is, Elliott wave has lots of variations. So despite this making 3 waves down, it can still be what's called a WXY pattern, which basically involves 3 legs initially down, followed by 3 legs up, followed by another 3 legs down. It's almost like a zigzag in itself, but each leg is made of 3 waves rather than a 5-3-5 pattern down, which is typical for an ABC. So that is what I'm expecting. We've seen 3 legs down. I'm expecting some kind of 3 leg up, whether this is 1, 2, 3 up, or whether it's going to, this is 1, 2, and then we'll see another wave 3 up here before it forms the Y leg. That's one possibility. And possibly the most likely possibility. So, as I say, I believe price is coming down much lower. Main reason being there's a lot of positive sentiment within the community. There's a lot of weak hands that haven't been flushed out, and there's a lot of room, a lot of scope for the banks to scare these people out. Still, the media is not bearish enough Bitcoin. The banks, the funds, they control the media. It's as simple as that. I won't go into that in this video, but they can control the media, the news stories, and until you see everyone absolutely terrified of Bitcoin, then we have not reached the bottom. Okay. All right, so how do we find the bottom? Now today I'm going to show you a tool that is very, very useful, and it's called on balance volume. So I'm going to bring that up. This is your on balance volume. Now a lot of you will have heard of on balance volume, but not many people use it regularly in their trading, just because you've got other tools on your chart and you don't want to have too many things on your screen. But it's a very important tool. It's not needed every day, but for big transitions in market trend, it's useful, and it's useful if you know how to use it. So first of all, what is unbalanced volume? It's basically the net difference between the bullish and bearish volume. So as you can see, since 2012, Bitcoin has been continuously bullish, and as a result, the OBV has continuously gone up. Yeah. So as bullish volume comes in, you see the OBV go up, and as you see a bit of bearish volume come in, it cancels out that bullish volume and brings the OBV down a little bit. Yeah. Obviously, if the bearish volume were to exceed the bullish volume, then you'd expect negative OBV. Yeah, because it's that net difference. Yeah, it's always been positive because the bullish volume has always exceeded the bearish volume. Okay, so that being said, the reason it's useful is, as you can see, first of all, it's tied in with my Elliott wave count, the impulse waves being 1, 3, and 5. So it peaked here at wave 1, peaked again at wave 3, and it's peaked again at wave 5. Yeah. Now, this is where it becomes useful. So wave 2 retraced to here, 3 finished here, and then wave 4 retraced here. This is a perfect example of how OBV is useful. Why did it retrace to this level? Yeah, it retraced to this level because it was the peak of wave 1. Yeah, basically the banks and the funds know that they can wipe out the weaker hands. They can get hold of the weaker hands Bitcoin, but they're not going to be able to wipe out everyone. And the people they're not going to wipe out are the people who've bought in so bloody early. I'm talking at the $2 mark upwards, up to I think it was around $200. These people have bought in at such a good price that they're almost invincible. The banks and funds are not going to be able to scare these people because they're profitable no matter what. Yeah, they probably bought their Bitcoin and gone to sleep, and you know, left it for the relatives or whatever. These people obviously probably had some inside knowledge as well. Yeah, for them to be bullish at Bitcoin at this stage and hold on for so long, they're not going to. The banks and funds know they're not going to wipe these people out. And to be honest, it's probably the banks and funds own personal accounts that have these Bitcoin. So there's no point bringing the OBV lower than the OBV at the peak of wave 1, because the peak at wave 1 is the OBV representing the volume of the traders who bought in during this first leg. Yeah. So what they do is try and wipe out all the other people with Bitcoin, but they don't try and bring it any lower than this level, purely because they know it's wasted energy. These people aren't going to sell. The volume's not going to come down any further. So then they mark the price up and up and up. We've got a wave 5, and now where do you think wave 5 is going to retrace to? Do you think it's retraced to here? This is where it kind of bottomed out here. Do you think that's the bottom? Do you think there's any more weaker hands that can be taken out of the market? Well, as I've explained, the answer is yes. OBV can come down to this level. Yeah. This was the end of wave 3. Anyone who profited during this leg, they're not going to sell. Yeah. The banks and funds know they can't bring can't wipe these people out. They're not going to get hold of their Bitcoin. They know these are the invincibles. Yeah. So they're not going to try and bring the OBV down any lower than that. Yeah. So we can expect OBV to come down to here. As long as OBV is above this line, there's still weaker hands who have profited during this phase, and these are the people who can be scared out. Yeah. These are the people they consider have potential to be scared out, and we're going to see. We've not yet heard it. I don't think. If you follow the media, still there's not enough bearish sentiment yet to expect one of the biggest moves we're going to see in trading. There's going to be a lot of bearish sentiment before this happens, and we're not there yet. It's simple as that. So OBV is going to come down, hit this line. At that point, you know that the only people who are really left are the people who are long here and profited here, and you're not going to wipe them out. So they'll bring it down here. As soon as it hits here, you might see it hover around just like it hovered around here, but this hovering It's just going to be, rather than net selling, it's going to be an exchange of a direct exchange between strong hands and weak hands until the price is marked up. Yeah, so I'm looking for this line to hit more than I'm looking at the chart. Yeah, the chart can do what it wants. Once OBV is down here, this is when it gets interesting. Yeah, so no matter what price is on the chart, I'll be getting in when the OBV hits this line. Now, if I were to give an estimate, so we can have some kind of price estimate, I'd estimate around the $3,000 mark. Reason being, there was this line acted as support here, sorry, resistance here, and then support here, and it would look like a more of a regular WXY pattern finishing around this mark. That's my expectation. To be honest, I'm not that interested until the OBV has reached this line, so that's what I'm looking out for. So as I say, this bullish move has broken down, and the important thing in trading is that we can have strong opinions, but it's important that we loosely hold these opinions, so that if the opinion fails or becomes invalidated in any way, you have to let go of it. And that can involve joining the other team. So rather than being a bull, you can become a bear. It doesn't matter. Trading is like that. You can switch from bullish to bearish as quick as you like. So yeah, that being said, right now I'm short-term bearish. After that, I hold my ground that Bitcoin is going to the moon. Watch my first video, you'll have more information on that. But yeah, this is just explaining OBV, explaining why price is going to come down lower, and I hope that has been very useful for you. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos. I'm hoping that can help you out with your trading. I've got lots more of useful bits of analysis to explain how banks transfer their money or get hold of the weaker hands assets, and it all comes down to psychology at the end of the day. And yeah, I hope it's been useful. Please like the video if you like the content, so I know that I'm posting relevant material. Subscribe if you find that you'd like to hear more from myself, and share if you think there's other people who might find it useful. All right, thank you for listening.